beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Structured Gibberish podcast. I'm Brian, that's Pat. Yeah, okay.
Hi.
He confirms.
I confirm, I am Pat. That's true.
Acknowledged. What do I have on my forehead? I cut my forehead at some point. I smashed it on something. I just noticed that it did not heal.
Were you like headbutting a villain?
Yeah, like a goat or something.
Yes, you are the goat.
Thank you. So today we're going to kick it off somberly. All right.
It's my least favorite way of kicking anything off.
With the passing of Paul Reubens a couple of weeks ago now. I think it was just after our last show.
I think it was just about when our last show aired. So.
And more recently, Arleen Sorkin, the original Harley Quinn. And Paul Reubens, of course,
inspiration for Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was literally the actual inspiration. You know, visually and not just like, she invented the voice and the way Harley Quinn talks and everything. But
did you hear? The way that Harley Quinn came about apparently is that Arleen Sorkin was on a soap opera where she played a Harley Quinn in like a dream sequence, and Paul Dini was just like, yes. And so they absolutely wanted her. They had to have her as the voice of this brand new character, which one of those really cool things. Harley Quinn did not exist before Batman the Animated Series. The cartoon made the character, not comic books, which is rare, especially for a character so beloved. Yeah. So beloved. And without her, we would not have Harley Quinn at all.
Yeah, and I know, I love Tara Strong. I think she's fantastic. There were several times when I would see her on Twitter, back when Twitter was Twitter, and she would be like talking to Mark Hamill, and she'd be like, "Yep, it's Joker and Harley Quinn together like always and everything," and I'm like, "I get it. You are a great replacement, Harley Quinn, but you are not the original Harley Quinn."
I don't know why I never realized until relatively recently that she was Batgirl. And so she worked with Arleen as Batgirl,
I think she was probably a couple of people on that show. I don't know.
I'm sure she was, but she was for long running. She was Batgirl, and then later on Harley Quinn.
She has a very good, and I'm talking about Tara Strong here. She has a very good range, where if you don't know, you won't realize that it's like, I was trying to point this out to my daughter. I'm like listing characters, and I'm like, even within the same show, she plays all these different characters and they sound very different.
Right. Tara Strong is one of my very favorite voice actors. And you know what always blows my mind about Tara Strong? And this is just one of those, kind of goes back to the old time, like ideas that, boy, you got a face for radio kind of a thing. Tara Strong is a visually stunning person. Like, I am constantly shocked that she does not have a larger acting career in live action.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
She there's a lot, there's a lot of voice actors that when you see them, you're like, oh, you don't look like the character you're playing. Like I not to be, any kind of way, but you do have
I do love whenever you preface what you're about to say with that.
But I'm just saying,
it covers all the bases. That's actually a great phrase.
Exactly. Not to be any kind of way. But when you see a voice actor for a character who you always like, wow, when you were a kid, you develop crushes on cartoon characters, and then that person who voiced it looks like one of your old teachers or something, elderly old teachers, and you're just like, no, like Jean Grey on X-Men, she physically does not embody what Jean Grey looks like, and that just you're just like, there's a little part of you that knows every time you watch the show again. You're like, oh, if Wolverine could see you. But she looks like a lovely person, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes. They just don't look like how you would imagine their voice.
Exactly.
Because you associate it with the cartoon. Yeah.
Exactly. But again, Tara Strong, I feel like, is absolutely the exception to that rule, because she very much looks like, she dresses like Harley Quinn on the regular, on her, different social medias, and she absolutely could play Harley Quinn in live action.
She is 100% a worthy successor. She deserves to be Harley Quinn. but we have to remember Arleen. There would be no Harley Quinn without Arleen.
Exactly. Yeah. Arleen will always be Harley Quinn. But Tara's doing a great job carrying that character forward. I do want to touch on Pee-wee, because Paul Reubens, Pee-wee Herman, he's always been a very big part of my life. I have loved every aspect of Pee-wee, and it's interesting because of course you only get kind of fully retrospective when something like this happens, but like I never really knew why I liked Pee-wee so much, like the show. Like, I rewatched the show several times in my daughter's very, very young ages. She doesn't even remember, so obviously I was watching it for myself. But my wife and I enjoyed watching Pee-wee's Playhouse, and of course these are some of the things you don't really realize too. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie that came out before the Saturday morning cartoon show, that was Tim Burton's first movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was that. Paul Reubens gave us Tim Burton, essentially, because Paul Reubens went out and found, I don't know that he found him per se, but they worked together. He was like, yeah, this guy, great.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that Paul Reubens found Tim Burton, made his career. Tim Burton made Batman the movie. Batman the movie made Batman the animated series. Batman the animated series made Harley Quinn.
Paul Reubens is like the great-great-grandfather of Harley Quinn.
Wow.
That's magical.
Wow.
That's magical.
And Kevin Bacon is in there too somewhere.
And Kevin Bacon, sure. But what I've come to realize is that those charts that people are always posting of like, oh, there's LeVar Burton taught us to read, and Jim Henson taught us to imagine, and yada. There's always like Mr. Rogers caring and whatnot. Pee-wee just gave kids a space to be weird. And that informed so very much of my life that I didn't comprehend it until his passing. That it was just like, I love being weird. One of my favorite things to do in life is to be super, not creepy, but just super weird. I'll make noises. I also
strive to be super not creepy.
I make noises. I just play like ridiculous, silly characters to my daughter like all the time. And all of that, I was given permission to be that weird from seeing his examples. One of my all-time favorite things to do at a party is to tell a joke that he told that I'm not going to tell right now because it's very long, and that's part of the point of the joke. But if you go and look at his go on YouTube and search up some of his appearances on David Letterman, and he tells this joke, and it's one of my favorite things to do because it's the kind of joke that while you're telling it, people do not. If you're telling it the right way, people are engaged until they're just holding on every word you're saying so you can be done. And then it ends in a horrific pun, and it's wonderful for the person telling it. It is a joke for the person telling it. It is not a joke for the person being told. And it's one of my favorite things to do. I will literally waste 15 to 20 minutes of people's time if I can to tell this joke. And again, I'm not going to do it right now because we don't have the time for that.
I'm going to look it up later.
Yeah, you should. After the show, maybe we'll watch it together because it's one of my.
You could just tell me the joke later.
There you go.
I'll let you perform it.
And so yeah, it's the fact that he passed, the way that he passed, in that he was battling cancer for 6 years.
Yeah.
which is astonishing to me because I'm pretty sure, like I got to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he made that last Pee-wee movie in the early stages of this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody knew. Like that's like him, and it was him, Elvira, obviously Phil Hartman has passed, but he was there too. They were all part of the Groundlings. And I want to say there's one or two other people that were like, what, like that person, oh, that, um, and the Groundlings, for those who don't know, it's a improv comedy troupe that kind of like Second City. But I think they're out in LA. And
That's like Third City.
Third City, there you go. But it astonished me that just nobody knew. It was just his close family or his close people. I don't know if you saw, but like the day after he passed, he had written a post the night before that was he apologized for not telling everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and that he just didn't want his time to be eaten up by people being like, which I get that. But he was very magical, and it astonishes me. I don't know. Did you see any of this like post-mortem stuff that people were putting out there? Like when you became his friend, he befriended like everybody he worked with. Like you could have worked with him once 20 years ago, and he still like bombarded you on your birthday with 1,000 ridiculous memes. And apparently he would make birthday videos for like everybody in his life. And what's really funny to me is that people started posting them, like after he's wearing the same outfit in every single one of these. So what he must have done is set aside like a day
Mm-hmm.
where he sat down and recorded like 60 videos.
Yeah. And then sent them out on the day.
Exactly. And you can tell like he does some of the same bits in different, but you can tell that they're obviously like, he obviously did one for this person, but he did several of the same bits in it. I was like, damn it, that's such a great idea. Like you just take a day off of work one day and be like, I'm just going to spend today just wishing all of my loved ones.
Yeah. The funnier thing would have been is if he just set aside, like, this is my birthday recording outfit. And he would just like change into that every day, record the video, take it off.
You never know.
It's probably the first thing though.
But yeah, I just, people like Ricky Lake, a person who I hadn't even heard of in 15 years. Ricky Lake was out posting. Pee-wee sent me a video every year on my birthday. Like just so many people. He was so loved. And that's wonderful to me. You know what I mean? Like that, because again, I always respected the hell out of the guy. And even like, we all remember of a certain age, I guess we all remember that he had some difficulties.
Yeah. Fairly tame by today's standards, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I mean,
back in the day, it was like, this is like a career-ruining event. Which thankfully didn't stick.
Right, and it didn't stick. But I tell you, my mother threw away all of my Pee-wee toys. But I am lucky that I'm the cool guy I am.
I've always said that, yeah.
5 or 10 years ago, I reclaimed all of them. I have the entire Pee-wee's Playhouse with literally
to the
every
dump.
figure. I found them all, dug them out, and so I do treasure that. I did that before he passed, but now it's all the more reason. And again, like watching the movie, we watched the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the first Tim Burton movie there. We've always watched that at least once or twice a year. Like that's just something that we've always done. And we always watch the Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas special at Christmas time. It is ridiculous and I love it. So, to Paul Reubens, he was quite the craftsman. And it was pointed out many times, I really enjoy the idea is that Pee-wee's not gone. Pee-wee's still there. He's in the Playhouse.
He's immortal, I'm pretty sure.
He is absolutely. He is an immortal 8-year-old boy. That's like that.
He's a magical being.
That was literally the shtick. He was supposed to be the luckiest boy in the world. and we're lucky to still have him. And we'll miss Paul. So,
all right.
So there you go.
There you go. On to a happier note, I guess.
Happier notes. I love
at least a less sad note. Tell me about your army of X-Men 97 Sentinels.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God.
Ermagerd. I want to preface this by saying I'm not done. So here's I left one in the box so we could see. Like, look at the size of this guy. Look at that. This is he's listed as a Titan. Oh, wrong hand. The Titan's a 12-inch. He's 14-inch.
Oh wow. Slightly bigger than a normal one.
Slightly bigger than a normal Titan figure. Also slightly more expensive. But not by much. I mean, again, by today's standards, this is on Amazon at this moment, 1-day Prime shipping for $22. So that so I'm going to show you now.
That's not bad, yeah.
It's really not at all. So here's one out of the box, because I do have many. So this is how he comes, and that's very tightly, but just the joints are ball joints, and so just doing this to it, I feel like gives it the weight of a regular figure. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't look like a Titan figure anymore, if you ask me.
It doesn't. And what's awesome about it is that usually the Titan figures are usually like poorly painted, compared to other figures and everything. But since these are based on the animated series, which didn't have a lot of detail drawn in it, like they look exactly like they're supposed to.
And that's the funny thing about it is that this is what I've been looking for all along. I went ahead and pulled this guy out. So there's our Build-A-Figure Sentinel. Mm-hmm. And here they are height-wise. Not a huge difference. About a head taller on the...
Is that my Build-A-Figure Sentinel?
Yeah, probably.
Sweet.
More than likely.
I'm glad he's got a nice head.
So, but... like this is what I'm going to be putting on display. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And the other one has like gobs and gobs of paint on it and everything.
He does. And he has a lot of unnecessary detail, which again was very cool, especially at the time. But the more that you, the more that I look at this, I realize this is what I always wanted. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like the superhero movies of today.
Right.
Where it's like, the more you guys just give me the superhero costume that I wanted anyway, the happier I am. I don't need you to make it more realistic looking. I don't need that at all. And here was one of those 3 3/4-inch Sentinels, which are kind of like, that's kind of fun to just have an army of slightly different sized Sentinels out there.
Oh, he's a baby.
He's a baby. Again, for reference, here's Wolverine. And so I think that scales pretty darn well.
Yeah, that scales perfectly. I mean, the scale of the Sentinel was a little...
This one for you is Morph,
Yeah, the scale of the Sentinel was a little bit fluid on the show.
Oh, yeah. Every so often they were, big as a house or like when they're hunting for Jubilee.
Yeah, they were like 3 houses tall. But when Wolverine takes that one down,
get on top of them, it was pretty accurate to this.
Yeah.
So this one is for Morph. But these are stellar action figures. I'm looking forward to what the communities will come up with for upgrades. The only thing that I am like out of the box, like, ooh, I wish that they had articulation at this point, because like that's or if they had the hand like out like this, like something like where they were grabbing at you or something. Mm-hmm. The fist hand makes sense over here. I like that. This one just having like a relaxed hand doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a Sentinel, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's but again, I'm looking forward to, I'm sure somebody is already working on some 3D printed parts that you can feel that this wiggles a little bit. I'm sure that this hand comes off easily enough. I'm looking for some things I can do. I have some cool red reflective metallic vinyl sticker stuff that I'm gonna make the eyes glow a little bit better with. But I mean, for the most part, you don't have to do anything to this, and it is a perfectly acceptable 90s X-Men Sentinel.
It's it's spot on. Yeah, it just needs a little more articulation. But at the same time, like for them being robots, they looked like people.
Right.
They didn't have like joints like robots.
I was thinking about that. Like, again, if you consider, as especially at this point, considering the costs of things, Sentinel $22 here, or if you're trying to buy one of these guys, you're looking at well over $100 at this point still. And you know, like I was like, oh well, I can move all of his fingers. that doesn't really do much for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is not a.
He does have the posable tendril though, the Bendum tendril.
He does, yeah.
Which is a plus, but
the tendril would be cool to have. Again, if I get a hand that's outreached like that and some kind of tendrils, some kind of something, you know, that would be a nice upgrade.
Be fun to try to 3D print that.
Exactly. That's the beauty of now, is that we can say, you know what? I bet you we could put that together. Sure you can. Sure you can. Like I said, right now, these cost less. One of these costs less than a modern Marvel Legend.
Yeah.
So I'm, like I said, I got 3. I damn it.
Why even stop?
Just never stop.
Yeah,
I have yet to see these in stores. These are the only thing I've seen. Well, there's supposed to be like a special pack that Target has coming that's got a Gambit figure in it, but I haven't seen that yet. I've seen all the individual figures. I've seen the Wolverine playset things, the Wolverine Titan scale figure. I've seen all that stuff. I have yet to see any of these on shelves. But like I said, I mean, you can get them from Amazon and they just come right to your door. Not that I like Amazon, but in general, I think that, you know, my plan for back here is to have an X-Men display where I've got all the bad guys on one bookshelf and then on the other side all the good guys. And so the bad guy shelf is just going to be, the back end is going to be lined with Sentinels. I just think that that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe probably keep a couple of the littler ones just for fun. I have 3 this one too.
There's there's something fun. Like it defies economical logic, but there's something fun about cheap army builders.
Yeah.
Like you can't see it over here because it's the one shelf over that's off screen, but I have like 6 tiny Sharkticons.
And the Sharkticon it's a great figure.
Yeah.
I've almost bought the Sharkticon a good couple of times.
What's great is that I want to say, so there's like a larger one that's a little bit newer, and then before that there was a smaller mold, and I have the smaller mold. It came out in 2 different colors. One of the colors was in a big box set, but the other one was a single pack. You just buy it. And Toy Hacks put out stickers in 3 different colors. Like you bought one set with 3 colors. So I bought 3 Sharkticons, and now I got 3 slightly different Sharkticons plus the rest of them. It's like they look like a little family.
And that's there again for fodder. Like that's the thing. Like I don't need my Sentinel to be crazy articulated. Because again, if in a display, again, we're talking about adults displaying action figures, not necessarily kids playing with them. But actually, like it works both ways.
Yeah, why not?
There's just a very small middle ground of people who are like, no, I'm an adult, but I need this to be hyper articulated for me to have fun with. Other than that, you're just looking for something that looks cool on display.
Yeah.
Or kids looking for something to be like, I'm a giant robot.
Right.
This works for both. This is going to display awesome. And frankly, the other thing is again, this is not going to come off in the video. It's very hefty. Like I feel like Titan figures often feel cheap.
Yeah.
You know,
they're very light.
This does not feel that way. I was very pleasantly surprised that this is a dense feeling. Like I almost feel like if you like press real hard on a Titan figure, like their body feels like they might just splinter.
Mhm.
You know, that's not the case here. Like this is a nice sturdy figure that frankly by today's standards this should cost more. $22
Yeah.
is a bargain.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
it should. It really should. Yeah.
Well, and again, like, you know, they're also when you really think about that, the regular Titan figures are $11. This is twice the amount of money for 2 more inches, but I do think that they use better plastic. I really do. So I personally, I'm not viewing this as a Titan figure as much as I'm viewing it as just a large format. Well, I mean, just again by that, how did he get glitter on him already?
Oh, you have a daughter.
I do. I love her.
It's the same. This office is covered in glitter. I absolutely hate it.
Like, this is. Can you see that? There's so much glitter. He didn't even come out of the box until like the other day. I don't know. Anyway, girl dad.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little wipe here.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
we got a lot to cover.
Really awesome. If you have any love for this character, get 5 or 10 of them.
Yeah, the character of robot
Sentinel.
Without personality.
Yeah,
if you love that character,
he's my favorite.
He's so dreamy.
Oh yeah.
My favorite part of, I think, all of everything having to do with Sentinels was that one time when Master Mold was like, "I'm gonna go," and then he's like, "Oh, my leg is still plugged in," and then he died.
Yes.
And see that a brilliant move.
A brilliant move. That is another thing. Like they have that gigantic, like really big Sentinel. I don't know who needs that. Yeah. I really don't. That was a weird move, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So,
Master Mold in general, especially that iteration of him, was very weird from an in-universe perspective. Like if you needed to build a factory to make Sentinels, you wouldn't build just like a larger Sentinel. It would be like if like Ford was like, we're going to build a giant car that assembles cars.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The next topic I want to talk about is Starfield, Pat.
Tell me all about it. I don't know much.
Starfield is a game that either you have been anticipating for years or you're just hearing about it right now when everybody's talking about it.
It sounds like we're both of those people.
Yes. So Starfield is a game by Bethesda software company, whatever I forget, game studio. So Bethesda studio of games. I don't know. These are the people that made Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and you know, the Elder Scrolls series has been immensely popular. The Fallout series has had some hits and some misses, but either way, Bethesda is known for their open world, do whatever you want kind of games. You know, like right. you could play Skyrim. People have played Skyrim for 12 years and they have thousands of hours in the game and they keep going because every time they play it, it's a little bit different. Plus mods make it possible for infinite possibilities. So this game they've been working on for 6 years. It's basically that exact scenario type of thing, but in space. And so now instead of open world, it's like open universe, and you can go to 1,000 different planets. And there is a main quest, and there's a bajillion side quests and everything. I spent 6 hours playing it today on stream, and I would love to just continue playing it forever because it's really good, and it's in space, which is like when I resisted playing Skyrim for a long time because I was like, I don't really like the fantasy setting. And then eventually I wore down and Skyrim's actually really great. But I always look for sci-fi spaceship games, and this is really good. And I would say I've been reading a lot of the praise and a lot of the criticism of it. And I think there were some expectations that some people had that were unreasonable based on that this is a Bethesda game. But one of the things was like games like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky, if you're in space, you can fly directly from space down to the planet seamlessly and back and forth, you know? This game, when you go to the planet, you basically like push a button to say like, you bring up the planet in your menu or in your map and you find the spot you want to land, and then you just see a cinematic of your ship landing, and then you get out and you're on the planet. And some people were upset about that because they were like, oh, this is a step back. All the newer games have like seamless landing. And at first I was a little bit disappointed in that.
Yeah.
But then as I played it, I kept thinking back to when I would play Elite Dangerous, and it was literally like 10 minutes of time spent just landing the ship, because you had like, you're legitimately just like you got to fly the ship. Like, it's still a long distance, and you can't go too fast because you hit a little bit of atmosphere and stuff. And it's like, you have to do it right. And it's like, it's not just like an autopilot thing. And so I was like being on stream and just being like, I'm essentially fast traveling to the surface and I get to see a cool movie of the ship landing and stuff. I was like, this is actually nicer, like seamless transitions were cool. No Man's Sky does it a little bit differently, where it's almost like because you like fly through the clouds and stuff, and you get from surface to space and vice versa very quickly, and it's very easy. You just basically like point up and go. Whereas
sounds pretty cool.
Like Elite Dangerous, you have to like get into hyperdrive and get into a certain angle, and then you have to if you hit the angle the right way, then you go into like a glide mode, and then you have to keep if you get out of the glide mode, then you'll drop out too early, and then you have to fly at like a snail's pace because you're stuck in gravity now, but you're way too high up. So anyway,
that sounds terrible.
It's realistic-ish, and that's the kind of the boring part. So anyway, but just like the initial story is like, they get you right into the story in an almost comically quick fashion. To the point where I was just like, it really feels like you're in the middle of the tutorial, you're in the game for like 5 minutes, and then they're like a guy shows up and he's like, you just completed the tutorial. That makes you the chosen one. Here's my spaceship. You can go off and do your thing. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm off. But once you're out there and doing stuff, then it's like, well, I could go do the main quest. At one point, I'm like, I had to stop off in some system, and I'm like, I'm just going to go land on this planet and see what's there. And we ended up finding like a base and shot some guys. I think I murdered like 30 people.
I think I murdered 30 people or so.
Yeah. So it's one of those games. It literally feels like Elder Scrolls Oblivion meets Mass Effect is what it feels like. Anyway,
that's cool.
I got early access for a week because I paid for the premium version, and everybody else will get it. I mean, everybody else who didn't get the premium version will get it next Friday, I believe, or Thursday.
Nice.
So it's one of these games that the mods are not yet available, but people are already chomping at the bit to mod this thing. And the ideas that people are throwing out there they were throwing ideas out like way before the game came out, and they didn't even know what the game was going to be like. But that's how people are thinking. Like, they're already like, we got to put Stargates in this thing. What if we just take a planet and just recreate the entirety of the Elder Scrolls universe on that planet? And that's Nirn. That's where Elder Scrolls takes place. Just remake the entire of all of the Elder Scrolls games as just one planet in this game. It's not going to happen, I don't think. And then at the same time, of course, the modders in Skyrim are just knocking barriers down. Like, they're basically upgrading Skyrim into Starfield, and then the Starfield modders are like, how can we turn this into Skyrim? And then pretty soon it's just the same game. So anyway, Starfield. I like it. It
sounds like you like it, and that's great.
If you are a fan of Bethesda games, which I know you've only played Elder Scrolls Online, and that's not even truly a Bethesda game. That's like technically a different studio.
Okay.
Made the MMORPG one. But it's not you specifically, Pat, but to the people out there, if you like Bethesda games, this is one to its core, and you'll probably enjoy it.
If you like Bethesda games, this is one.
That's definitely
something you can take to the bank.
This is definitely one of the games of all time. And if you have previously not liked Bethesda games, you probably won't like it, because it is truly a Bethesda game. It is exactly like, as you're going through it, you see all the hallmarks of it, including the like my companion. I turn around, he's just standing on a desk for some reason, because he found his way onto a desk. And NPCs will like sometimes just like, you'll be in the middle of a firefight and you'll like go around a wall and they'll just be standing there for a second and you're like, oh, and you don't shoot each other. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay. And then you both start shooting each other. It's
Okay.
like the AI just has that not quite there kind of feel to it, which I think is just adorable, honestly, that everybody in this game, I'm the smartest person in the universe. That's how all Bethesda games should be. Everybody else is dumb. So
everybody else is dumb. I like that.
Starfield, give it a shot. It's free if you have Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass. It comes with it. All right, Pat. I'm throwing it back to you for very tiny He-Man figures because I didn't know what to call this.
That's a good one. Let's yeah, it's so.
Do you want me to put up the browser or put up the camera? Are you going to attempt to show them?
We're going to do the camera first because I want to do a gag.
Okay. I'm giving you the camera then. Here you go.
So as if you guys follow here, you may realize that especially lately, I have been very into miniature things. I've created some miniature things, and I just love the idea of super teeny tiny things. So much so that I ordered this not too long ago, but this is a 3D printed teeny tiny Skeletor.
It's very tiny. I can't imagine a smaller one.
I know, right? But then, so that aftermarket kind of a thing there, or third party. These came out claiming to be the world's smallest Skeletor.
Even smaller. It's hard to imagine.
It's hard to imagine, right? But this one does. I give it the world's smallest in that it does have some articulation. Technically speaking, you can remove this armor, although I don't recommend it.
I don't know how you get it back on.
So that's our world's smallest.
I think I have that one too.
I think you do. But then that same company, I believe, came out with this, which is a slightly smaller, not by a whole lot, but slightly smaller Skeletor. These are in the blind pack micro toy box line. And I thought, how could they ever get any smaller than that? But about a year ago, there was some solicits for a Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs advent calendar, which I was very excited for and definitely pre-ordered. Sadly, apparently the pre-orders were not enough, and so it got canceled.
Oh.
But not before some of the line going forward and being created. And I was lucky enough to stumble upon some of these on AliExpress. And then bizarrely also on eBay. Now I will preface this is that right now I can no longer find any listings for these. I think the window has closed. I'm sure they didn't produce many of them, but I was lucky enough to get some of the actual production painted. And I believe I can say this with some certainty, at least at this point, the new world's smallest Skeletor.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do here. I am astonished that he is painted at all. Look, he's got a yellow face. Like, he actually has a bit better paint than his big brother here, the other world's smallest.
He's half the size.
Half the size. I was lucky enough to get him in a pack. What I'm kind of bummed about was the reason I started to find them again is apparently there was also a Beast Man that I was not able to acquire, but I did get all three of these guys. I got Man-at-Arms, He-Man, and Skeletor. And the shtick of this was that these were like action figures for your Mega Constructs action figures. Like, they were going to be in like a little present that your Mega Constructs figures could open and receive a tiny, tiny, tiny action figure. I love that I own these. I love
I,
it.
I love that you were able to get a hold of them.
Right. That the idea that they were ever going to be available, and like the detail is really, I cannot tell you because you cannot see it. I had to buy a pair of cheaters from the Dollar Tree to see it correctly. How much detail is truly in this teeny tiny little guy. But I I wish if they put that out again, if they release, I will attempt to buy it again because I mean the rest of the set was pretty cute too. Like you built like really low poly type brick versions of the play sets and vehicles and stuff, and you got a couple of exclusive figures like a He-Man with a Santa hat and stuff like that. But for heaven's sakes, I can't stress how much I enjoy that exists. And that I have it right here. It's so like it every time I see it, like they, of course there was a picture, but I was not ready. I was not ready for the actual scale of this.
You gave me the link to the browser. Let me bring the browser up real quick.
Bring the browser up so you can
this is
see
what the let me get this thing out of the way here.
Yeah,
this is what it looked like.
They list that as sold out. When in truth it was just never sold. But yeah, look at that. You would get
they look so big.
Right. Again, those characters, I wish I had one handy. They're about that big. So yeah, really remarkably fun.
This is not how many you get. This is how much larger they are than the tiny ones.
That's kind of true. Yeah, you see, you can see the Beast Man that I was not able to get a hold of. Skeletor's holding him. And honestly, like these were, I don't think most of us realized that they were produced because I think we had only ever seen them as
they might be production samples or something. If they were on AliExpress, they might have just been like, the factory was like, oh, I guess we're not using these, and they threw out their production samples and someone grabbed them.
They had, I'm going to see if I can find the picture of it real fast because there was on the listing, there was another set of all cast in Skeletor blue versions of He-Man and Man-at-Arms. That one had Beast Man, and I was contemplating trying to get that one, but then when I found all three of them with the paint, I was like, I got to get that one and just forego having the Beast Man. Let me see if I can find him real fast just so I can show you a picture of Beast Man.
Why is this like an 8+ pro builder? You really got to be a pro builder to put these together?
Yeah, you got to be at least 8 years old to build that tiny little Castle Grayskull.
You can't just be an enthusiast. You got to be like a professional. You need to be an employed and certified mega constructor.
A mega constructor. I like that.
No, constructor.
Constructor. So okay, I'm going to send you a picture of the listing, and then you can see, and we put that up, and we can take a look at it real quick. You can see that they are grayed out as no longer available.
Copy link. There we go. Stand by. Paste and go. Here we go. Back to browser.
So they're like the sixth one from the left on the top.
Wait.
Bring it. So go to the little menu there. Nope. Over to your right. Down. See those little pictures?
Yeah.
Go 6 pictures over.
But there's only 4 in a row.
Oh, I'm sorry. In yours,
here?
It's different. Hold on. I'm looking at it on my page. Let me pull up our main video here. So it's second row, second picture.
Okay.
So, again, that's one of the mega constructs holding the Beast Man there.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It is.
Mega constructs are not big.
They are not big.
They're like Legos.
And then if you click the next one, the next picture, they had the where you would get the 4 unpainted samples and then 2 painted samples. But like I said, once you can see like they digitally removed other painted ones and also fused this poor man's fingers together.
It's they did it's an impressive attempt.
It is.
Like if you weren't looking closely,
the lines line up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy I have the painted Skeletor.
Which one of these would you have wanted?
I have both of them, but I prefer the one on the left, the toy colors.
Okay.
So, yeah, really, really cool. I was so excited that I was able to. AliExpress is if you're interested in this type of things, where like toys that just didn't come out, a lot of times if they are late in production, this is where they end up. I don't know if you guys watched the new DuckTales show at your house, but I really loved it. And they were gonna come out with a what the hell was Gizmo Duck, and they got along enough in the process where it was going to come with a little Fenton crack shell, and I'm very sad because I kept seeing it, and I was like, I don't really collect that line, but I really do love Fenton. Like this, I have DuckTales from the original show figures. It would be kind of fun to have a Fenton, and it was never expensive. It was very inexpensive. But I just never pulled the trigger, and now just like these, he's just gone. Like there are no listings left. It is just not there. And so it really, I'm positive that it's just like it's a little bit of production stuff, and then once it's gone, it's gone. So, yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, this is fun. This is almost like a bragging rights piece, because I have the tiniest production made Skeletor. Somebody might be able to 3D print something smaller than this, but not production, not painted the way mine is. It's so tiny.
So I went back to this picture because what I actually meant to ask you was, if you got the tiny Beast Man, which color would you prefer?
Oh yeah, 100% left one. I would definitely want him to look like the old toy.
Thought so. Okay, cool. That answers my questions. Thanks for talking to me, Pat.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You may have noticed that I'm moving around quite a bit in my chair.
A little shifty, but only your chair is moving.
Yeah, and the microphone a little bit. But nothing else is moving. Not a whole lot, and that's because I changed my entire camera setup, and it's on its own little stand now, and not on my wobbly monitor. And I also replaced the stand on my wobbly monitor with it's basically 2 solid pieces of metal. It's a cheap Vivo stand from Amazon, and it just mounts to the VESA mount on the back. I've done this with 2 monitors. I don't know why I don't do this more. A lot of monitors come with terrible stands.
Apparently.
And you could just buy a new one. And it's height adjustable now. The old one wasn't. It was, you could angle it.
Oh, that's nice.
And this one, you can go up, you could turn it sideways, you could do whatever you want.
So, how much was it? Send me the link. I might want one.
Don't remember, but it was pretty cheap. It was,
yeah, that's awesome. My monitor stand is pretty okay. Like it goes up and down and tilts, but I don't know. I want to be able to spin it.
Yeah, it goes up and down.
Tell me about the elevator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got its ups and downs. New topic.
Go.
Power Rangers 30th anniversary happened this past week. It was, I think, Monday. I want to say. I believe it was Monday.
That's right.
I have mixed feelings about it because nothing happened.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
Hasbro, they're not in great shape right now. They're selling off subsidiaries. They're selling off IP. The prices of everything are going up. They're putting a lot of their stuff on hold. Power Rangers itself is probably being put on hold. So it's like, even though they technically still have things in the pipeline, what they had for this 30th anniversary was a t-shirt and like the day or two before, they reissued some products they had already put out, like the Dragon Dagger and the helmets, you know, the white and Red Ranger helmets. They did, let me switch over to the browser real quick.
Mm-hmm.
They had put out 30th anniversary shirts in the past, but this was the shirt that they specifically came up with for the day.
That, speaking as a t-shirt designer, that shirt sucks.
It is 100% supposed to be a 90s throwback shirt designed by a person who is not born yet in the 90s, is what it feels like. This is the thing that gets me. I don't know if you can actually zoom in, but there are 2 apostrophes in the words on the side. In it is here, but in Morphin, it is here next to the N.
Yeah.
And I don't know what like, they were like, oh, we're going to do like a throwback to like how the merchandise somehow would have like the wrong colors and stuff. So like their morphers are random different colors and his blaster is weird blue and everything. And it's like, I mean, overall, it's like, okay, fine. Yeah, they throw out like 90s throwback shirts all the time. It's no big deal. But to put this out and be like, you know, happy 30th anniversary, like you guys couldn't have done, like Netflix dropped a brief trailer for Cosmic Fury, and that was the only other thing. So I was really disappointed that there wasn't something more.
Yeah,
you know, like that,
as you well should be, because this offering is terrible,
and this was
awful.
This was a tweet, like I was expecting like a fan stream at the very least. Like usually they throw together like, hey, we're gonna do an interview with the cast of the upcoming show or something. Like even if they didn't put out a product, like I'm not saying like, hey, I got all this money burning a hole in my pocket, like let me throw it at you, but like I expected anything to have, like any sort of fanfare to happen, and not just like, oh hey, we grabbed a random shirt, happy 30th anniversary kind of thing.
And again, I can't stress this enough that this is a bad design. It's not even like a 90s throwback. It is a poorly designed shirt.
Yeah.
Because shirts did not just look terrible in the 90s. There are terrible shirts in the 90s. There are terrible shirts always. But there's no reason that this is what they would be like. Yes, happy anniversary. We want you to have this. No, that's trash. Yeah.
The other shirts,
not like.
The other shirts are actually not terrible. The other 30th anniversary shirts. It's using their other kind of art and stuff.
See, I would actually, I feel like that is much more of something we would have seen when we were kids. That style of like the different Rangers and different boxes and stuff. Yeah, I mean like that is a solid shirt.
Yeah.
But for what it is. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like this is like they got the one with the comic cover that they made up. Like that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And everything. But like, I don't know, just like if it was almost any of these other shirts, literally, if they had put that out, especially like, even if it was like just, hey, it's a 30th anniversary logo, like that would have been something. But this almost felt like they were like, hey, crap, we just remembered it's the 30th anniversary. Do we have anything we could throw out there? And they were like, well, we got that one doodle that the intern's been working on.
That kid who doesn't know how to work a graphics program, he made something.
I mean, I see that they were going for a style, and so I don't want to be too harsh because
again,
it's clear.
I do this professionally. This is my job. It is bad. That is a bad design. There's no redeeming it. Well, no, I'm actually looking up right now 90s vintage 90s shirts. They're all better than this.
They were going. That's why I said this is a throwback 90s shirt made by someone who was not born in the 90s. It's like, this is what I assume 90s art was like, right?
Somebody in their 20s was just like, I don't know. I think in the 90s they probably did this. Because they pulled up somebody's MySpace page and were like, yes, I'm sure that this is what everything looked like in the 90s.
There was some pretty bad art for Power Rangers back in the day. Like it definitely was there, but it wasn't like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they achieved their goal.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that I hate the most about it is the power up.
The wavy part,
and it's morphin time. The image itself, throwback enough. I'll give you that. But the text around it, I would like to find this person and do minor physical harm to them, because of what they've done to my eyes is painful.
It is
enough.
In different ways. All of the words are difficult to read.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, just that wave. Nobody's ever done that and been like, that looks good.
Yeah, it's not.
Except for like maybe on MySpace, when everybody, come to think of it, MySpace was essentially like our young era's version of like Canva, where like all of a sudden everybody thought they knew what they were doing. Everybody thought that they could freaking code. I was doing so well.
You were.
They were able to. I'm impassioned here.
I give myself a little candy every time you curse, as a treat.
The treat. And you're a diabetic now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like this, the center of this is okay. I get what they were going for with the center image.
Yes.
The wording around it is unforgivable.
Because here's what happened.
This is papyrus.
Yes, that is exactly right. Because here's what I think happened. I think they realized it was the day. It was the 30th anniversary, and they were like, what do we got? And they were like, well, we got that art we've been working on, but we don't have any words yet. Like, it's just the picture.
And all of the graphic designers that we have on staff accidentally fell on rakes. Yes, they can't come in.
And they're like, hey, this guy knows paint.
This guy can run Canva.
Yeah.
Go on in there, buddy.
Stick some words on there.
My great aunt is always putting inspirational messages on the Facebook. I'll use that for inspiration.
Yeah. So anyway, this
is there
feels
any way
like
I can make this an animated glitter GIF? No? Damn.
You can put those on the website, but they won't show up well when it's printed.
I would love that. That's my new headcanon. This is actually an animated glitter GIF that they didn't understand wasn't going to animate on the shirt. The power up was actually like waving.
Right. No, this is all. It doesn't even say Power Rangers anywhere. It's just. No, I mean, it's
probably better.
It's
you know what this is? This image in the middle. This is a knockoff. This is what they would put. You would get this in a sticker machine that was not sanctioned by Saban.
Yeah.
That's where this stuff comes from.
This
is a coloring book page. I'm 99% sure this is a coloring book page from an off-brand dollar store.
And they were like, hey, you just finished coloring that page, right, from your coloring book. Can we throw that on a shirt? They're like, well, I screwed up the colors on some of the things. They're like, it doesn't matter. Get it out there.
I did it on purpose to be ironic.
We're spending too much time complaining about this really terrible shirt. I do want to talk about the good stuff that's still happening.
Yes, let's talk about the goods.
Cosmic Fury, which I'm becoming more and more convinced is literally the end of Power Rangers, because I'm, at least for a while, because I'm fairly sure that Hasbro is, like this reboot stuff that they've been talking about for like 6 years now. I am fairly certain it's just not going to happen at this point. But I would love to be proven wrong. I would say there is a non-trivial chance that Cosmic Fury is just the end, because they're not far enough along in anything, I think, or they can't decide on what they want to do, and there isn't a champion at Hasbro for Power Rangers anymore since Brian Goldner passed away.
That sucks.
But anyway, they put out this trailer. This is not from the 30th. This is from like yesterday, I want to say.
Okay.
The one they put out on the 30th was no, it wasn't the opening theme, because we talked about that a while ago. Anyway, either way, this is from today, 11 hours ago. So what this is, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it's basically the first time they morph with the. Oh, you know what they put out on the? It wasn't a video. It was an article that had a bunch of screenshots, and that's where we learned that Izzy's girlfriend is going to be the Orange Ranger. Like it was confirmed at least that she was going to be the Orange Ranger, and a couple of other things. I think they put out the poster where we see the Zed Putties they're the new Zed soldiers for the first time. Anyway, what this is it's basically the entire morphing sequence where they put the orb, whatever, in their morpher, and then it does the whole, it's like an update of the previous morphing sequence, but now they're like flying through it this way and they get their powers up and it's pretty cool looking. And then they just like, they do the John Cena thing to get their helmets on.
You don't see them. Not anymore.
Yep. And then there they are. I still actually kind of like these suits. I know a lot of people don't like these suits, but I think they're pretty good.
I think they're okay. I like their shield armor.
The thing
I
that
don't
people,
like their helmets.
The thing that people don't like is the like fake muscles, but it's like it is literally supposed to be a vest. Like it's supposed to be armor. And I think the problem is they made it the same, like they covered it in the same fabric as like rest of the suit. And if they didn't do that, made it
like metallic or something, and people probably would have gotten behind it.
Exactly. So it's like, in other words, what I'm saying is I don't mind the shape and the fake muscles because it's clearly armor. But if you're not looking closely, it just looks like they were like, yeah, I'm going to put fake muscles on.
I was going to say, I would never in a million years have guessed that it was anything more than fake muscles.
Right, exactly.
I would have absolutely just been like, Power Rangers, sure.
Because
of course they have fake muscles.
People's muscles don't actually look like these fake muscles, you know?
Right.
So
it's like Batman armor.
Yeah. So we get a couple of shots of the Q Ranger Cosmic Fury Zords. This is the Pink Ranger Zord. So we don't know who the Pink Ranger is going to be.
I wish they would go back to stop motion CGI model or not non-CGI models.
At some point I want to show you video from King Oger because it'll blow your mind. The CGI is starting to get better. And that show is like 95% CGI now. So Sentai. They have no sets. The entire show is filmed on green screen.
Wow.
That's not entirely true. There are some sets, but the sets are often also on a green screen. And so, because they're on these goofy, fantastical planets.
Right.
And so it's like there will be sets, but then like the background, I'll show you a video. It's not, in some cases, it looks really awesome. And in other cases, you're like, oh, that's green screen. Anyway. Fighting. Here's a shot this is a blink and you'll miss it kind of shot, but this is a Cosmic Fury Rangers. There's Billy.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy right here with the red arm and the blue pants is the Dark Ranger. There he is. This is Heckle from Dino Charge that they're bringing back. He was supposed to, here's the story. Essentially, they were like when they were in pre-production for season 2 of Dino Charge, there was this character. He was a villain in one of the Kyoryuger movies. He was like an evil ranger, and he was a one-off throwaway bad guy from a movie. And they were like, we want this guy to become a good guy and become that ranger essentially. Like, and then he would join the team. But because he's a movie exclusive, and Hasbro or not Hasbro. Well, it was Saban, but either way, like when they get the rights to the Sentai, they don't automatically get the rights to the movies. That's a different thing. They have to
thing they'd have to go and figure out.
And so for whatever reason, by the time they were actually filming, they knew for sure that they weren't going to have access to this. They still gave Heckle the colors of this suit as like accents on his normal outfit, just kind of like as a nod to the fact that they wanted to do it, but they weren't going to be able to do it. They did do it in the comics. He becomes this ranger in the comics. And now they're finally going to make it happen here. I don't know how, but they're finally doing it. Which is very cool. This feels to me like if this was, assuming the story is good, if this was the end of Power Rangers, this is the like, we're tying up all the loose ends. This is where I mean, you got Billy in there.
Yeah. You're bringing it back to the OG. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. There's a lot of Q Ranger footage in here of like their Jark Matters. I don't know what they're going to be called, but the Zords are not the Zord, like the giant spaceships attacking things. This is, here we go. There's another shot of Dark Ranger. I think he's sometimes called Talon Ranger. I don't know what they're going to go with in this continuity. This is the purple Zord. That's probably going to be Void Knight becoming the Purple Ranger. There's 12 Rangers in Q Ranger. So and 12 Zords. Well, more than 12 Zords. So they gotta, if they're using all of them, and we know that they're using at least 9 of them from the footage, there's more Rangers that are going to join this team at some point. But I think there's a clearer shot of him in here somewhere. I think he's not in the background of this one, I don't think. Someone was. That's a cool outfit he's got there, I guess.
There's a compliment and a takedown.
Yep.
What a cool outfit you have, I suppose.
I guess. I mean,
they have capes? I don't know they had capes.
He is the Zenith Ranger, and he is the only one with a cape.
Ah, well, it fits him. I like it.
Yeah, he's like when Tommy became the White Ranger, basically. It's the same deal. Lightning. I don't know what's going on with lightning. Powers, they're doing something. Why is the moon exploded? I don't know.
Oh my God, they're in a state here, aren't they?
This probably isn't even Earth. It doesn't look like Earth, so I don't know what planet this is. Oh, you know what? Actually, I take that back. This is probably Zordon's home planet of Eltar, because that's where Lord Zed flees to.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Talon Ranger fighting, or Dark Ranger fighting the guys.
Are those bad guys or those regular guys?
These are the Zed soldiers, whatever they're called.
Oh.
There we go. They were using the lightning or whatever. I don't know. Fighting more Zord footage and stuff. He lost his arm somehow.
I hate when I lose things. Then I don't know how.
This is the Megazord with the Pink Ranger attached, which is a secondary formation because the Pink Ranger is like the 9th Ranger in the source footage. This is footage of them fighting in their Dino Fury suits before they get the Cosmic Fury upgrade. And then there's like a pose. Shooting Zords, more Zord fighting. Boom. There's going to be practical Zord effects in this one, in case you were wondering. It's not all CGI.
That's fun.
It's mostly CGI when they're just flying around in their unconnected Zords. That's all. I don't think, to my knowledge or my recollection, I don't think Q Ranger had CGI Zords, CGI Megazord footage at all. I think it was all practical when it was
all guy in suit.
All guy in suit whenever they were merged as a Megazord.
Well, that is awesome. I love guy in suit much more than CGI.
Yeah,
infinitely more. I don't even care how good the CGI is. I still would prefer guy in suit.
Yep. The other topic that, let me switch back here because I don't have a picture of it, but the other topic I wanted to briefly cover is that we got a leak of the Master Morpher, the Lightning Collection Master Morpher. It looks like the Master Morpher from the 25th anniversary episode Dimensions in Danger, which I have my custom one right there that I made and purchased all the coins from a replica company. But the one that leaked it comes with all of his 6 coins from the different forms that he's had. It is like the custom color where it's like shiny gold and green on the inside and everything. And it has Jason David Frank voice clips in it that he recorded before he died. And that to me is very cool. And I definitely want it. And I know you do too, even though I've got a Master Morpher. This one doesn't say anything. There is I'm going to again say non-trivial possibility that they don't release this thing.
So I am with you on that it's entirely possible, but I think the reason that we're even seeing this, the reason why that it's popped up is because the PulseCon is coming. Yeah. And I would guess that this is going to be revealed as something you can pick up. Because here's the reason I think it will come out. Anything new on it, they've already done the work on.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just had to basically do the coins and everything.
It's an in-the-box prototype as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Like these things are ready to go.
Yeah.
Probably.
We've seen pictures of the box. We've seen pictures of the entire thing outside of the box.
Right. So as far as I can tell, and I mean they didn't have to do it like this is easy money for them. This is Hasbro's bread and butter right here.
It really
is. Hey, here's a thing you already have, slightly different.
Right. Buy it again.
Pay us money.
Yeah.
And so that's I'm very hopeful because I did pre-order the Dragon Dagger because I've been wanting. Every time it comes out, I think, it's just so much money. I don't think I'm gonna do it. You know, and then it sells out and goes away, and I can't have it, and I think I could maybe swing 300. And this is what goes through my mind. It's like I have so many collectibles. I could sell something, and I can make it happen. I can make this happen. And so I'm just going to pull the trigger and get it and the Morpher. I wish that they would re-release the helmet / I wish I would know that it would really fit my giant head. I have a big head. I don't know
Did they actually put out a Green Ranger helmet?
I thought they did.
I know Bandai did.
Maybe it was Bandai's.
Yeah, I think Bandai did. I don't think, because I seem to remember a conversation not long ago of people being like, they're gonna cancel the Lightning Collection line, and they haven't even made a Green Ranger helmet. Like that's their bread and butter is Mighty Morphin and Tommy specifically, and they never made a Green Ranger helmet. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think I know Bandai definitely did. Either way, I agree with you. I think PulseCon is going to be like the last hurrah for Power Rangers, and I think it's going to be like, hey, here's everything we had left in the pipeline. Right. Some of it's going out to stores. I assume actually that it's going to be a combination of PulseCon exclusive on HasbroPulse.com, and then some things that are going to go to the fan channel, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, all those things. Mm-hmm. There'll be things like that. I doubt that they're going to announce anything else coming to big box stores.
Yeah, at least for right now.
Yeah, maybe a shirt.
Maybe a better shirt.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating being a designer of things that are arguably better than things that are coming out from big companies, and it just hurts my feelings.
Yeah. All right, speaking of your feelings,
speaking of hurting your feelings, you're stupid and ugly.
Whoa, you took that way too far. I just want to talk about your Mancakes.
Oh yeah, my Mancakes. I love talking about my Mancakes. Let's preface this Mancakes talk by saying I have never played Fortnite. I probably will never play Fortnite. It's not the type of game I'm very good at. And so I know that there were, Hasbro makes Fortnite toys, and I almost snobbishly shunned them. I'm just like, those are for that dumb game. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't like the game either, but I actually enjoy many of the designs. I think they're great.
And that's what I came to, is that when I found out, like my daughter and I love going to Ollie's discount outlet. Mm-hmm. Ollie's sponsor the show. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? But we love going there, and there's always something for a pretty decent price there. So we were there, we were looking around, and I was very excited to find a funny little character that looked a lot like an aged up version of my daughter. I was like, that's really cool. So I bought it for her, and she loves it. And then we were looking, and there was like another character on the back that was like a tree. Like it was like, what if Groot like mixed with like a Keshi animal? It's like got like a weird little animal's face, and then its body is a tree, and its limbs are branches, and it's just like, it's a really nice figure. And again, they had it at Ollie's, and so I think I got it for like $5. And so I wouldn't pay. I don't think I would pay like the $25 that like the normal figures coming out. I feel like that's too much for what I am into in this, because there's no content to back it up. It's not like I'm going to put it on a shelf and be like, dude, look at that. Mm-hmm. But they are wonderful toys. And that's what I remember a time, and I'm sure Brian will remember this too, when we used to just walk around Toys R Us until we found something fun. Didn't have to be the latest Marvel toy or the latest Star Wars figure. No. In fact, one of my favorites was when we bought those goofy cars. Remember the cars that would fly? It was like
Oh
it
yeah.
was a car that you would pull back. It was a pullback racer, and like halfway through the racing, it would like pop up, wings would pop out, and then it would launch
Like a glider.
A glider.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were buying it, the guy, because we were probably like 17, 18 years old at the time, so we weren't the norm in the Toys R Us. It's not like today where adult toy collecting is like everybody does it apparently, but yeah, we're way cooler than you guys. We've been doing it forever. We the guy ringing us out was like, so what is this? Why are you buying this? And we were just like, because it's cool. and he was just like, dang, I wish I bought stuff just because it was neat.
It's a novel idea.
Right. It's like that's what we're here for, man.
It's like, hey, look, we're not rich, but these were like $3 or something
exactly,
like that.
Exactly.
It's
like they were very inexpensive, and what a cool concept. I mean, and like myself, I love toys in general. Toys are just one of my. If you had to break down my personality, like a large portion of it is taken up by enjoys toys. And so like toys in all forms I think are entertaining. So that one got me. Anyway, ever since my daughter and I found the couple of ones at Ollie's, I'm like, these are pretty cool. I actually have literally tons of the arcade cabinet that came out because Ollie's had them for like $2. And I have since been making templates to turn them into, I think I showed one on the show where I made an old X-Men game. I've been working on tons of templates to make different ones. I want to make a whole arcade. It's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. But the point is that these are quality toys. Mm-hmm. And they are obviously made by people who enjoy toys in general and enjoy weird things. And this is one of the weirder ones. I actually I found this and put it on in my Amazon cart before I was lucky enough to find it at Ollie's for about half the price it was on the cart. This is Mancakes. Mancakes. That's right. Pancakes with an M.
Yep, he is a man.
He is a man. His bandolier is full of sticks of butter. His face is a stack of pancakes with syrup that's dripping down and a mustache with eyes and a cowboy hat that has syrup coming out the top. And he has stolen a bag, a classic money bag, but it is full of pancakes. He is an old Western character, which is just delightful. He's got some 6-shooters. And you know what else, boggles the mind is that, so these are Hasbro made, right? I'm correct in that?
That is correct.
Hasbro. Yes. Apparently, and I think maybe we've talked about this a little bit before, the Hasbro people don't let their teams use the same resources. Because as you might recall, I had to craft a magnetic closure for my Indiana Jones belt, but this one has really nice little clips for their gun holsters. Mm-hmm. They work super well. They are the appropriate thickness and stiffness of plastic. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. I don't think I could get all this stuff off of him without breaking it, but like there are details on his shirt underneath that I would love to see what kind of details are there. He came with several accessories. First of all, this is one of the larger scale. He came with a very big, like Civil War era cannon. I don't know why.
It's probably something from the game. It's
something to do with Fortnite, I'm sure. But again, because these are discounted at Ollie's, this pack was $9. So I get this figure. I get a very large accessory. It also came with this. This is a old-timey shotgun type with like a knife bandolier that's pointed down, and it's got a stack of pancakes on it. The butter is on top, and it's just ridiculous. A tiny bottle of pancake syrup. You can tell because it's got a picture of pancakes on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I enjoy this. You can take his hat / face off, revealing just the stack of pancakes, and give him a no hat / clean shaven face that shows off his stack of pancakes. Looks even better. Honestly, I might display him with this if this had the mustache. I love the mustache. It's one of my favorite parts of the cowboy motif. This is a wonderful toy. I am driving a lot of glee from this action figure, and that's kind of what I wanted to say even more. Then this is a delightful toy that you can pick up at an Ollie's for $10. I just like being open to that feeling of like, hey, that's fun. I don't need this toy. I don't, it's not necessarily going to end up on a shelf. I will say it's going to sit on my desk for a while because it's just so fun. Like, this is a fun little thing. If they keep doing this, if they just keep coming out with ridiculous characters, I am absolutely going to be buying more of the Fortnite line. And I will continue not playing the game because, that's not fun. This is fun.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I assume you didn't hear about the controversy.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So there is a character named Peely. He is a banana guy.
Okay. I've seen Peely, sure.
Right. I believe, I don't remember the exact details of this, but I believe a mother complained because there is a version of him in the game, and I believe as an action figure, where his peel is gone and he's just the banana part.
Okay.
And I believe this mom group was complaining that he was essentially naked and that they were selling a nude figure to kids. I want to get your thoughts on that, Pat.
Good
is
Lord.
A banana with no peel naked a banana person? A person who is a banana with legs and arms.
It is as naked as Bugs Bunny and as naked as Donald Duck's lower half. It is a banana. It is a banana.
Yes, I agree. He is.
I'm a banana. My spoon is too big.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That is, I gotta.
But if Donald Duck takes his shirt off, he
covers his Donald Duck.
He covers his banana, his cloaca.
Yeah, that's. I mean, people. We know this. We've seen this enough. People will complain about just about anything, and if they can champion it and feel like they're doing. Probably not to be any kind of thing, but probably feel like they're championing the Lord's work or something. It's a banana. And the fact that you are offended by the nudeness of a banana says way more about you than the banana.
I will say, when I first saw the nude banana, I was like, I felt a little bit uncomfortable because I at first was just like, oh God, he's naked. But then I was like, but at no point was I like, this is an inappropriate figure for children. I was just like, oh no, he, in the same way that like if Donald Duck takes his shirt off, I'm like, oh God, he's naked, even though he never wears pants.
I will say this. This is my own creation. Every so often when I look at this, when I was drawing this, I was like, should I put pants on him?
The ponies are all naked.
The ponies are all naked. All of the My Little Ponies are butt-ass naked.
That's right. Well, some of them wear hats, but...
Right. Well, Skeletor's got a hood on.
Right.
He-Man's got a harness on. Mm-hmm. But especially, like this, I didn't notice at all when I was designing Skeletor, but specifically because He-Man has flesh tone, I was like, that's a butt. That's a butt. It's like, should I try to incorporate the furry underpants, or does doing that make everything else weird? Like the second you put pants on a My Little Pony, you have to realize that all the My Little Ponies are naked, and it's like, ooh. And then you're just like, it's a My Little Pony. It's a kid's. Horses are naked. Horses are naked, and nobody's like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing.
Definitely is an interesting thing.
Also, I did this wrong. I searched Fortnite nude figure, and a lot of things came up that are not. I'm probably on a list somewhere now. So I guess it can't even be that big of a thing, because Fortnite nude figure came up with absolutely no topics.
Yeah, it wasn't like a court case or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it was just one day on Twitter that was the main topic, and everybody complained, and then it went away. You know.
Oh goodness. Honestly, like I said, these Fortnite toys have they've got tons of really neat accessories. They're good toy fodder, especially if you're a customizer. Like really, really cool. I was actually hoping, I hear some Ollie's got it, but ours didn't. There's like a girl figure in just like a kind of like a crop top shirt. And I was like, that would be perfect for that Mary Jane head that came with Gwen Stacy. I'm constantly trying to make a better Mary Jane figure, rather than just have her wearing Gwen Stacy's clothes, which is so awkward. But yeah, I haven't been able to find that one yet. Plus, the other problem is like her pants have like tactical gear on it. That's not very MJ. But yeah, like I said, like the accessories, I mean, the flipping arcade cabinet, they also had a shark. I almost bought the shark too.
The shark
it's
one
like
looks
this big shark, and you crack it open and it's got a bunch of stuff inside of it. Just really fun toys. Fun toys. So I'm constantly trying to harass my daughter into playing with more toys so I can buy more toys. So but she likes what she likes. So, and that's good.
Speaking of more toys, I'm getting better at these segues, I think.
You are. I'm loving it.
I got this Lucky Cat Megazord. It's actually called Lucky Cat MC03 Beast Lord, because I think this is an unlicensed figure.
Seems like it, but I like it. I like where we're going.
This is a company that is like, they did Voltron a couple years ago. What they do is they make robot things that transform into cubes. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why that is, but like all the Voltron lions turned into like the 5 lions combined into like 3 cubes.
I remember you showing me this, and I was perplexed
and being like, what is the deal with this?
Right.
Yeah, why do we do this? They do it for other things. There's actually a different company called Beastbox, which does the same thing, where it's like robot animals that just turn into cubes. They're really easy to store, but I don't know what the purpose of it is. But anyway, they did one for the Megazord, and when I saw it, I really liked the design of the Megazord itself. And it combines, they all turn into their Zords, they combine into the tank, like all the features are there, and it's like you could just never turn them into the cubes, right?
The weird thing.
Yeah,
right.
Just don't bother with that. Like all the other features are there. And I liked it because it was like stylized, and I'll show it to you in a second. But
I hope so.
It clearly looked like a Megazord in all of the pictures. Okay. So when I got it, I got the box here because I had forgotten that I had ordered it. You know, so I get the box, and this is the picture on the box. Let me bring up the thing.
Yeah.
This is the picture on the box. Classic Dino Megazord, right?
Sure, I believe you. It looks like a cool robot.
Yeah, no, it's not the Dino Megazord. That's not at all what it looks like.
Okay.
MC03 Beast Lord, etc. That looks more like the Dino Megazord.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the
thing there.
And
You
that
got
makes sense to me that they would cover it up if they're not supposed to.
Yeah. So, but I get the box. I'm looking at this side, and I'm like, I don't like. Is this a Gundam or something? I don't remember ordering this. So I open it up, and go back down there. In the form that I originally took it out of the box in, it looked like. Hold on. Get it like this.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, all right. Well, clearly,
right.
You know,
It's got
like,
some of the elements.
The
there
parts
for
are
sure.
there. There's toes. I don't know what the deal with the toes
interesting.
is. This sword, actually, the sword is massive, and it does have this like squishy, like lightning effect that you can put on it. Like it does go all the way on, and everything. These wings were clearly in the pictures, and I was well aware that they were like redesigning these, like they're stylized, and he's got like the tail and stuff, and I was like, this is like, so, but that's supposed to be there. But the rest of this, like these shoulder pads, this chest thing, and this cool head. I mean, it looks really cool. I'm fine with that. Yeah, and these large guns and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But like, I start taking these things off, and if you take these shoulder things off, the normal shoulder pads are underneath it, and this is the Dino chest and everything. But I'm going through the box, and I'm like, all right, well, what do we got here? So we got this bag of parts that has like the normal cannons on it, so you could get rid of these giant cannons and put the normal cannons on it. We got these big old cannon hand looking things that I think are just there to make the tank mode look cooler. These foldy outy things that I think are just here to, well, they're supposed to be extra guns, but they basically are there to make one of them look a little more cube shaped, or like get two of them to stick together into a cube. And that was it. And I was like, I don't have a Megazord head. I don't have Zord heads for his feet. I don't have a pterodactyl for his chest, and his head is wrong.
Yeah.
And so I'm like searching for pictures. None of the listings show this form at all in any of the pictures. I eventually found it, like someone did a review of it, and they're like, and this is what it looks like out of the box. Then they took all the parts off and put all the other parts on, and it looked like the Megazord. So eventually I just happened to be digging around, and I see on the floor this nondescript little white box that had fallen out, and I didn't notice. And inside of that box, separated from everything else, was all the pieces that I needed. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's the Triceratops head. There's the saber-toothed tiger head. The actual Megazord head. His little baggie had 2 extra screws in it, and the instructions don't mention them at all, and I don't know what the extra screws are for, and I'm afraid something's going to fall apart. And then the pterodactyl. So what I do want to kind of show, and I might maybe in the background swap out the pieces here, but like what's cool about this is that he can be this very cool stylized Megazord.
Sure.
Or you can swap all the parts and he could just be plain old regular Megazord. Like, for example, you can take his chest off, and I'm going to, with my other hand here, fold up the pterodactyl, hopefully in the right order of parts here. I think that goes like that, like that, like that. All right. Then you can put that on the, come on, get on there. There we go. Come on. It's got an extra piece that has to go in the bottom. There we go. So you can do that. And he's got that. You can take the head off, put the normal Megazord head on. It's very simple to replace it. And now he's starting to look more like the regular Megazord.
Yeah, right? There you go.
You can take these shoulder things. Well, you can take the wings off, and then he's just got the regular back. And you could take these shoulder pads off. They're kind of difficult to get off. One of them fell off on its own, and I couldn't get it back on, and then it snapped on, and then I couldn't get it back off. So I'm not gonna try and take them off. But anyway, when you do all that, and then he comes with the normal cannons that would go on the back, and you pretend you swap the feet out. He's looking like a regular Megazord. It is actually very cool and stylized. I like whenever people stylize. Like, I've got so many attempts to make the definitive Megazord. I like also when they have attempts to do it differently. But what I particularly like is that, you have the normal pterodactyl shield from the front, and then you've got the wings in the back here. And on the bottom of the wings, there's the T-Rex tail is just kind of stuck there. Now I dropped it. Hang on. I do this every time. At the bottom of the T-Rex tail is this piece that I think you have to split apart. There we go. That comes off and clips onto the front there, and then you take the normal pterodactyl shield and put it on the bottom and spin that around, and now you have like essentially like a massive dragon pterodactyl thing.
That is cool. This is well thought out. I like it.
It is. It's very cool. And all their mouths open, I think. I'm pretty sure. I had to get my knife out to open the Triceratops mouth, and I think this one's probably the same. Like the mouth does open. But anyway, it is well thought out. It's very cool. And I think these just are supposed to, these fold up on the back like this. So there he is. And these are all the ball joints and everything, so they're very cool. So like, you do get this, and this thing can combine onto the Dino tank or not. Oh, and the other thing was that as a pre-order bonus, they gave me extra Triceratops horns with the chain that I could swap out, because his horns can technically. Yeah, his horns.
Oh, that is a thing. Yeah.
I haven't been able to figure out how to get the horns out. And I'm a little worried that once I do, they're going to be loose, so I'm not going to take them out. But as a little pre-order bonus, they gave me extra horns on a chain where you would put half of it in the slot, and then the other half is just on a chain, and you could, do whatever. So
you're like, swing it, and you could be like swinging the chain.
Swinging the chain, yeah. So this is actually super easy to change. I don't know why I didn't just do this. If I could get the shoulder pads off, this guy would look awesome. He would.
I still think he looks awesome.
Yeah. But really,
I don't mind the big shoulder pads on him, to be honest.
Oddly very easy to change all of the parts around. So there's the. It's rather complicated to turn them into cubes, which is why that will never happen. But like there's his normal feet, as you would expect. Yeah. And I wish I could figure out.
I feel like now that we're seeing it in action, I feel like the cube thing is really just like a challenge accepted. They're like, hey, we're gonna make a fully functioning awesome toy that functions as a regular guy, that functions as a revamp, like only our version revamp. You can take the parts and mix them and match them into some other crazy crud, and then on top of it all, you could turn them all into boxes. And you're like, what?
Oh, and
why? Doesn't matter. We're that cool.
That was the other thing, is that not only do they turn into cubes, they come with build your own clear cubes. Lots of build your own clear cubes that you can then store your cubes in, because they turn into 4 cubes, because the legs combine into a cube, I believe. And I think this guy's like his own cube. I don't know where you get 4 cubes from. I'm literally never going to do the cubes. So, because this thing looks awesome.
I wouldn't either, but it just looks amazing. I love this whole thing.
I've been waiting patiently for that Flame Toys Megazord that's supposed to be like, it's like super stylized, that model kit.
I remember.
I've been waiting like 5 or 6 years for them to put that thing out. And then these guys are just like, hey, we basically took that design and made a fully transforming figure. Oh, he's got, I don't think he has diecast in him, but he's very heavy. So
maybe at his core or something.
Yeah, maybe. He's also extremely posable, mostly due to the fact that he has to like turn into a cube. So there's a lot of additional foldy joints that aren't present in the normal one. But all right, I think that's enough about that. We're getting low on time. Oh, there we go. I got one shoulder off. That's what his shoulder looks like on there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, very classic. Very classic. I was struggling to remember what his shoulders looked like. I was like, I don't think I've ever paid that much attention, but now that I see it, of course. It's very
How did I get that off of there? I can't tell. Oh, that's what's holding it on. Okay, so I got to probably do a little twisty. There we go.
Twisty, little wisty.
There we go. So then if I grab the pterodactyl chest off of the dragony thing, put it back on here, then we have, don't fall off now, too late, the Megazord.
So this says to me you should just buy 2 more, and that way you can display all the individual Zords, the regular Zord, the cool Zord, and the little Dragon Man.
Little Dragon Man. Well, then you could always just take little Dragon Man and just stick him on the back there, and he could be like, "We're gonna go for a ride."
Right. Come on, Dragon or Dino Zord, let's go.
I like the idea. I think in the Flame Toys one, because they do the same thing where the pterodactyl is like a larger dragon thing, and I'm pretty sure that the head, instead of becoming like part of the tail, the tip of the tail, it becomes like the hilt of the sword.
Oh, okay.
If I recall correctly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that they're doing it 2 different ways. Anyway, I want to see more reimaginings of things. I've got so many of the regular Megazord. Yeah,
see that's the thing. Like whenever we talk about reimaginings and whatnot, as long as you've given me a solid version, reimagine all you want. You know, that's the fun of it. Once I have what I've been looking for, that's the thing that bothers me about some of this stuff, where they're just like they only give you like weird versions of things, and you're like, I just give me one real version that I can be proud of, and go from there.
Yep. I think you're actually supposed to, I'm looking at this closer now. His wings have different segments to them and everything. And I think you're supposed to like fold these up kind of like this.
When he's in dragon mode?
Yeah. And then I also realized his legs are supposed to go up like that.
Oh,
and then his guns can fold back. And I think he's supposed to be more like this.
This guy feels very Godzilla-y.
I know. This is Robo Rodan here. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So
Mecha Rodan. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't remember how much this cost. It wasn't super expensive. It wasn't like the model kit, which is like $400 or whatever. Right. It was reasonable for what you get. And now that I found all the parts, I love it. It's there's so much going on with it.
Yeah.
You know. All right, now I just toss it in the pile of things.
Pile it up.
And back to the 2 of us. What time is it? We got 10 minutes. Can you get through Glyos, Nintendo figure, and also these Wendy's toys?
Yes, I can. I can.
In whichever order you would like.
Let's start Glyos, because I have him right here. So this is Rokum
Sokum Robot.
Rokum Sokum Robots. They are a Glyos type company. They use the Glyos pin. It's ROCOM toys. They are very throwbacky. They like pretty much most of their stuff has some sort of homage to it. But they have some just basic stuff too. But what we're going to talk about today is definitely 1000% homage city. This is let's see, what do they call this one specifically? This is the N10 video. Oh, I'm sorry, N10. And I don't know what they're going for. Obviously, it's a Nintendo.
N10. Is it? Yeah. Is it
N10 video?
Nintendo.
Maybe I don't know. They're trying to be cute, and I appreciate them. This is the N10 video droid action figure. And the design of these, I'm not as big a fan of the squatty design on these as I am like the bigger Glyos figures, but this particular colorway just had me. Here he is, and he is definitely an old NES system. You can see his gun there. That's the old school duck hunt gun.
The light gun thing, yep.
He's got a power glove, which is just amazing.
It's so bad.
He's got a little start and select tampo print on his chest, which I love. He came with several customizable parts. The hand actually, the glove can come off when the gloves are off.
Yep.
Then he's just got a regular old hand here. He's got this backpack glider thing, which is fully removable, and you can take the wings off if you want him to just have a jetpack. Or like this is also part of the Glyos fun is things can be whatever you want them to be. Like this just looks like a cool ship. You flip these this way, it's just like a fun little spaceship, you know.
Oh yeah, that is cool. I love little spaceships like that.
And then
I have all the Buzz Lightyear spaceships from that little collection because I just love having spaceships.
Those were always cool. His head here is a pretty clear homage to both RoboCop and Alien. He came with these heads as well. This is giving me some Transformery.
He looks like Jetfire.
Yeah, it's very, very Jetfire. This is like makes me feel like Captain Power almost.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Mega Man?
Maybe. I don't even know with this one. Like again, it fits the time period, but I don't have like he's a rhino robot.
Oh, it's that guy from New Adventures of He-Man.
Probably. And then this is just like a kind of a drone head, a very fun little, astronaut helmet type thing. He also came with this wicked awesome sword. It's wicked awesome. All in the NES colors, just this pretty basic gun, now for my money, this was a little expensive. I was not going to buy this model until they came out with this colorway, and once it was the Nintendo colorway, I was like, yeah, I went for it. So this all of these parts together were a $40 purchase. So that was a lot for a Glyos little guy. Again, I don't think I would have bought this particular figure if it wasn't the Nintendo. That said, this is like the all-in version because it came with all these things. Usually there's like a figure, and then you can buy an upgrade pack that's one of the heads and like the gun and the hand, and then there's another pack that might have the sword and the gun, and you know what I mean? Like, so usually you can kind of part them out, but for this edition, they were just like, nope, you get everything or you get nothing. So I went for the all-in $40 thing. Very cool. I like it. That's my time on that one though, because now we have to get to. Can you go ahead and pull up the thing I sent you so we can look at these? Yes,
sir.
These I was very excited. I heard about them today. I think the news broke about them today because our friends, and by friends I mean they don't know we exist, at Action Figure Insider posted. These are, and I am really excited for these. These are going to be Wendy's Happy Meal toys. Apparently, you get 3 of the figures in each pack. They're blind back, so you don't know which 3 you're going to get. They come with trading cards. You get. Could you scroll through the pictures so we can look at some of the other ones?
I can. This one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good one. So they're each figure is going to come in each colorway. So if you're going to be a completist about it, good luck.
That's going to take a lot of Wendy meals.
So you're going to put on a lot of weight. But I think this is a wonderful offering. Like the fact, like these same type of things, Super 7 is selling individual figures for I think $3 or $4 a piece. You will get 3 figures with 3 trading cards for free with your meal. And actually, I don't know how they're going to do this. Wendy's has always been very good about giving you the free toy for free. Like if you roll up and you just say, I mean, follow me here. Okay. When you roll up and I don't know how you are, like I will often want to buy or just have a toy for my kid to play with, and I don't want to buy the meal. Like we might be stopping for sodas or something, and I'd be like, oh, you know what, I'll take a toy too. And McDonald's will charge you $3 for just the toy.
Oh, really? They do that now?
They do.
Oh, I guess they've always done that. Yeah.
The Happy Meal is like $3.50. So part of me wants to be like, I'll have a Happy Meal, but you know what? Hold the toy. But
yeah,
you know, like
the meal is clearly. I wonder if you do it at the kiosk. Did you ever hear about that?
I've never
thing
tried at the kiosk.
So the kiosk was the thing was that the cost of the ingredients of a burger was greater than the cost of the burger. So you could go, I'll take a burger, but I'm going to say no cheese, no burger, no ketchup. And if you did that, you ended up with they owed you some cents. And it would just do that. It would apply it to your bill because the thing didn't, it would just do math. Right. And so they would just add all these essentially like null burgers until they could get a free meal and then just put their meal on and it would come out to $0. And then McDonald's figured it out and fixed it.
Right, McDonald's figured out why are we hemorrhaging money? What is happening? So I don't know. One of the things I think is kind of interesting. I hope that you get 3 different colors in each pack too. That would be fun. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe they've just got green packs and purple packs and blue packs and red packs. I don't know. We did try the second I heard about this. We went and got a Happy Meal. And they instead had, now I want to go on record as saying, Wendy's has the best kids meal toys. I don't know how often you guys go out there, but they're always like fun and creative. Like a lot of times it's just like a little art project in a bag,
or like a little game or something.
A little game or like a little building, like, you know, with cardboard and plastic and stuff, you build little creatures and stuff. Today's toys were really fun. They were little cats and dogs, like, and I mean, like, very simple, like very toy, like these are toys made for toy's sake.
Yeah.
They're little, like, kind of hollow but well-designed dogs and cats that also had a clip-on superhero accessory. Like the cat had like a Batman-esque cowl that fit on it. The dog had kind of a more of a Flash-looking cowl to him. Mm-hmm. Not official, of course, but just kind of fun. Super fun toys. This I'm gonna be there's a Wendy's on the way to and from work, and I'm gonna be there a lot while this promotion is going on. And it's just super fun. Will you go back? I'm sorry. Can you go back to the other picture with all of them?
Yes. Sorry, I'm transforming the guys.
Oh, I get you.
Oh wait, not that one. The one with all of them. There you go.
So the only thing that I have against this is that they did not give us Hal or Kyle or John. They gave us Jessica Cruz. Jessica Cruz is a fine Green Lantern, except for nobody cares about her. I don't mind her. Like, I think she's a fine enough side character. I do not think she deserves to be the figure that is represented in this set. We have Mira, Aquaman's wife, Mira. In all honesty, the only, like, we get Sinestro, but not Hal. Like, that's insulting to me. Cyborg, again, I know they've been trying to make Cyborg a thing. Getting Gorilla Grodd, but not Hal. Cheetah, but not Hal. Nightwing, but not Hal. The character whose name I do not know because I haven't read the books, Wonder Woman type character. I think she's just another Amazonian.
I was going to say, you don't know Wonder Woman's name?
You know, that Wonder Woman looking character. Wonder Woman. Also interesting, like, purple dress Catwoman. It's the Catwoman that's in this series. Supergirl,
they're all wearing purple.
Well, yeah, but you know which one I'm talking about. The one she's actually wearing a dress and like a cape and everything. Mm-hmm. The Sinestro looks awesome, and I will be trying to collect as many of these characters. What's nice, like I said, they're going to come in 3-packs, and I believe they're broken into the 3-packs as we see them here. It would make sense. You got Flash, Grodd, and Batgirl. Again, Batgirl, and no Hal. Come on, the entire Bat family is here. No Robin, I guess, technically.
Yeah, the entire Bat family, but not Robin.
Not Robin.
He doesn't count.
The Robin fans out there should be outraged. The fact that we're getting a Mira makes me sad that we're not getting a mainstream character like Hal, or I mean, it was noted in the article. I guess that's another thing I'd like to touch base on. I'm sad that we don't get toy articles anymore so much. We get a lot of Facebook posts.
Yes,
that's what you get instead of
articles. That is true. I've noticed.
But
what on earth? This is like in Korean or something.
I mean, probably. Isn't that where you got it from?
I guess.
I suppose. If you're being technical.
Does it say I need to use a screwdriver to transform him into Dino mode? Maybe that's what those extra screws are for.
I believe that.
Okay. Anywho, go ahead.
So the point is that this is loud. Why is this happening? This is a great promotion. I'm very excited. I'm mad that Hal's not there. I think the point I was getting to that in the article or Facebook post, as it may be, he said that the guy who was working at the Daniel Pickett, who runs Action Figure Insider, I think he said he was kind of involved in this, but his friend was like the guy who was really running it, and so like he wanted to get like Metamorpho in there, and another like big omission I feel is John Jones not in there. Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
So it's weird when you get a character, like I said, you get a character. I guess it looks like each pack comes with one bad guy and two heroes, so you get a team up and a bad guy. Superman, Supergirl fight Lex Luthor. That makes sense. I'm guessing Sinestro's the bad guy, not the Amazonian character in the Jessica Cruz pack. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a little bummed that Hal's not there. I really would have loved a Hal, and the fact that Nightwing has Hal's haircut makes me feel like maybe Hal was part of this at some point. They're like, it's Nightwing.
How do you know that that's not just Hal in a Nightwing costume?
You know what? That's exactly what it is. I think the thing that just bothers me the most is that I'm going to have to make a Hal out of one of these guys. I'm gonna have to get an extra Nightwing and shave off the Nightwing parts and add on Green Lantern parts and be like, okay, I feel better now. But again, this is going to be a really fun promotion. There's, they don't, I think it's part of the law now that they don't really advertise these things anymore to kids or to anyone.
Oh, really?
Because while I was trying to find more information about these, I found out that Burger King had a bunch of Looney Tunes as DC characters this year in their Happy
That's
Meals.
An awesome throwback.
In fact, there's a Porky Pig that has a Robin suit that clips on just like the ones that we had when we were kids. And I was like, well, now I got to find that toy. There's also like a Tweety Bird Harley Quinn that will fit very well. The rest of them look kind of like, you know how they used to do with Happy Meal toys, where it's like there's like 2 or 3 really quality ones and then some crap.
Yeah.
So that they've been hitting that pretty hard, it seems.
Hitting the crap.
Hitting that crap pretty hard. So all in all, go to Wendy's. I did check eBay today, and there was not a single listing for any of these. So my guess is they're not quite out yet. In this article or Facebook post, he says out now-ish. My guess is very soon. So I'll be checking. I'll let you guys know in a couple of weeks there what I find, when I find, if I find. Not to be any kind of thing.
Right, not to be a thing or anything, but what am I doing here?
I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing.
This thing is hard to... I'm just trying to get into mammoth mode here. And this thing is just being a stinker.
Ain't it a stinker?
Let me late breaking update on the Megazord thing. This guy is a stinker. It's I see that the need to turn him into a cube has kind of affected several things here.
Ah, I see. It all comes
Also,
into play now.
Some of the joints are incredibly stiff, and I can't quite turn them. Also, how did this guy get sideways?
How did that guy get sideways?
Yeah, sideways. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you where we're at here in just a minute. This is the final form. I got them all into Dino mode for the most part.
The final countdown.
To the degree that you can when the majority of them are not actually dinosaurs. The mastodon here is going to be a little jank because reasons.
Because.
Okay, and then you're supposed to put the... I wasn't intending to do like an update, but I was fiddling with them, so...
I mean, fiddle away. We had all night.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is the big reveal. I'm under the gun to get this last peg in. Here we go. Okay. There's... Oh, let me at least just put both of this up on here. There's the mastodon.
He is very cubey.
He has 3 points of articulation in his trunk.
That's impressive.
And his tusks can twist. I have not entirely figured out how to get his legs to line up with each other because they're little. But the mechanism is there. It's just really stiff joint. So he is looking very cubey. Of course, we have the awesome pterodactyl dragon thing. We got the Triceratops. His legs do pull out like the higher end ones do. Mm-hmm. So he gets slightly less leggy. Saber-toothed tiger has quite a lot of articulation in its legs.
Saber-toothed tiger's looking good.
Yep. 1, 2, 3 points of articulation per leg, and spinning wheels on the back.
Nice.
Listen.
Oh, that's how you know it's good.
Yep. And then finally, the T-Rex that did not skip leg day. Looks great from the side.
Yeah, it looks
quite so great from the front. And that's what I was looking. That's what I was looking at the instructions for, because I was like, I feel like there's articulation here to make some of this fold up, but no, this is just what his legs look like.
He's just very hippie.
Yes, he's a hippie.
He is a hippie.
He is definitely a hippie. So
let's say it is very cool that they all transform into their individual, bot guys. But the winner here is definitely the whole piece as the Megazord.
Yeah.
So
plus this guy is awesome.
That guy is awesome. Like I said, I kind of wish that you just had a spare chest to keep that guy intact while.
Oh, wait. You mean like this one?
Oh, gee.
I know, it's all coming together now.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, anyway, that's the show for today. If you enjoyed the show, give us a like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And
if you enjoyed the show, you'd be in the minority.
Maybe. I think we have a divide by zero error. What was I going to say? 2 weeks, we'll be back with more. And next week
we'll probably be playing video games.
We'll be playing video games on my channel. So we will see you then. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.